Hi guys, we're going to pull some cards just for twin flames, but also for the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine Collective. So this video is for you if you're finding it. Just for the messages, I always say take what resonates because it is kind of a general video, but we're going to pull some cards and I want to talk today about how to know if this person is my twin flame. Something I deal with a lot, and this is why I also work with spirit, because sometimes we're able to get a lot of messages through and kind of tap in and see what's coming through about our different unique situations just for us. So I always say get a reading done. That's one way that you can tell I do this kind of work, right? And I also try to look at things like astrology, just kind of tapping into spirit and seeing what kind of comes through. So there's different ways that we can tell, but here are some different ways while we're going to pull some cards for the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine Collective to tell if this person is destined for you. So sometimes it can be like this person is around you a lot. Sometimes when you're meant to be with someone, they could be like around your job or different place, like around you. And then I'll just try to share like some things that I've learned too. So I've done a reading with someone and I told them to clean up their life, and we need to clean up any old partners that were around, because this was something that was blocking this individual's energy. And we started to discuss right some of the masculines around her, and so there was this one person and she says, oh well, they're a friend and they've been interested in me, but I just wasn't interested. And I said, oh well, you need to block this person. And this person got very tearful, and I know, right? And was like, oh no, I never could do that. Okay, this is an indicator. If you are like friends with this person, they're around you, they're in your life, they've always been there, this could be an indicator that actually this is the destined person meant for you, because they're still there. The universe still has them there. And sometimes this can be really deep as we're going through relationship work. The thing with twin flames is you're not going to come together till you've cleared your karma. So if you're in karmic connections, it could be something that's delaying you. And that's another indicator of, is this person actually my twin flame or a karmic partner? So when we're dealing with karmic situations, it's like that. Like I went through so many hard lessons in the past few years really fast on karmic relationships. And then I was like, oh, I won't do that again, right? Oh, okay. And there was a lot of like different things that weren't healthy go kind of in the situation, because there's a lot of karmic baggage being worked off together. Sometimes you come together with karmic connections for lessons, healing, and love, different reasons, it could be past life contracts, raising children, different reasons that we come together with different, and I'll refer to them as karmic soulmate connections, or different reasons like that. So a lot of times, you're not in that twin flame union until you've released and worked off your karma. And that's a huge reason why you may not have been with them earlier in life too, and why you may have had other partners. Another indicator is a lot of people are seeing their karmic partnership didn't work out. Oh my gosh, okay, the soulmate didn't work out and you're just not sure why. Like you were perfect for each other, like you're destined for each other. It was amazing. I mean, this one really hit so hard on a deep level, but you ultimately were not meant for this person. And this is another big indicator that you are coming into, or could be in, a twin flame union. You're going to feel really comfortable around this person, that you can just be yourself, or you can kind of open up more and like tell them anything too. Indicators that you're with your twin flame, right? It's going to be like really, really comfortable. All right. So looking for connections in 2023 that are healing us and being of service to us. We're going to pull some cards for the Divine Feminine now. And I want to talk also about what's kind of going on with the collective. So let's pull some for anyone in separation with the Divine Feminine cards, and in union too, but we'll start with separation and what's going on with the Divine Feminine Collective. If you're a masculine, take this as where your feminine is if you're looking for her, or a message from your feminine as well too. We're just going to kind of tap in and see what's going on with the energies. I've already got a lot of messages too about the astrology. We have a new moon Saturday in Aquarius, and it's going to really hit home. It's a very serious vibe because there's a lot of Saturn energy kind of going on, but it's going to hit close to home as to long-term relationships and love. These are going to be ones that are of service, so they're serving you. All right, so let's see what's going on with the feminine. All right, for those in separation, and then this is awful because it's like such a weird magnet effect with our energy. It comes down to energy and where our energy's at, and that's the thing about these kind of connections are kind of unique to other connections, as they have such a magnetic both push and pull that I talk about. That's always going to come back to your energy and how you're feeling. A lot of the time it is coming down to the divine feminine's energy. There's different dynamics that go on within those energies. And so if this is a read for the divine feminine, working on your energy right now for both. Like you guys might be kind of like you've been given a lot of energy to other people, things going on, whether it is you're like parenting, right? And you're doing that, or you're doing your job, but you're also trying to help those around you. Right now, you may need a recharge and to really take care of yourself right now. And you might be feeling that across the collective, or a lot of people are feeling that as we are going through a lot of solar energy. So we had a CME blast us yesterday that everyone's probably still feeling a lot and like kind of, recalibrating from it. We've had several of these this month. That's like putting it mildly, right? Several of these this month, and like these are doing crazy things to the energy. I just saw that we have a comment that's going to be, we'll say, reaching Earth, right? Reaching Earth February 1st. These CMEs ripped the tail off of that comment, and it got me thinking this morning about the planet and like, how it's affecting us on such a global and huge level. And it's shaking everything up as we know it, as it is shifting us into a fifth dimensional state of consciousness. Now we've been there within the energies, and the thing is we're just kind of getting used to it on a lot of levels, and there's just like a lot going on in one place right now. Working on your energy so that you can maintain higher frequencies is going to help you so much, of course, with yourself and how you're feeling, and also within your twin flame connection. All about feeling good within these energies. However, every time some of these waves are coming in, layers of healing are coming to the surface. That is exactly what gets in the way with twin flame connections. Past karmic experiences, challenges, baggage, other kind of things, and the emotional that are getting in the way and coming up as relationship blocks or blocks to union in a lot of ways. And then we kind of get pointed back to do more healing work. And then I want to talk about how we know if we have karma is if it's like in our head, right? Like coming up, so it's unresolved. So if we can leave it in the past and set it aside, then we're going to clear it on a greater level. And a lot of times it's just that our thoughts, they're like, guiding us through this experience. What we're picking up on, we're so much more than the human body. We are, oh my God, right? So much more. I won't get into it, but we're tapping into our own Akashic record at times and things to be working on and things like that. So when we're revisiting the past, a lot of times the past is gone. You're tapping into your Akashic record or cellular memory of it on a lot of levels. And so if things are coming up, then these are things to work through, especially if they are bothering you, right? Oh my God, on any level, right? Whether it's like negative things you've been through, needing to release these things. So of course we have the release card for the feminine, right? Birthing different things. And so this can come up in different ways. Like I said, layers of healing, needing to really work on healing yourself. I can relate to this because that's what I'm going to go be doing, right? Healing myself now. I've been doing a lot, right? And kind of going through a lot. And oh my God, are things moving fast? So we're going through a lot. And, so we're learning how to heal, and we're all needing to learn how to heal ourselves to move through this ascension process. So we're also being taught a lot about healing during this time so that we can integrate all these energies coming into the planet. So release, needing to release, let go of things. This could be past karma, baggage, things that have gotten in the way, especially for anyone that's in a separation right now. There's so much unspoken between you guys and how you really feel. So what comes out sometimes in the separation is, in the reverse of it. But this is actually a deep connection sometimes on a soul level. Okay, so sometimes you might think it's too late, you've grown apart. So when we're thinking about twin flame union, it can drive you kind of crazy. And I guess that's with love, right? With love, it connects because, especially with twin flame union, because you're needing so much faith in this situation because it's such a divine union. and that might go for your life right now, and things like that. So it's almost like that faith can take you into another dimensional level, yeah, and it can help us with things like feeling better, manifesting, connecting with the divine, connecting with source. So connecting with our faith right now, you have to have faith in this situation. So in 3D we say, oh, this is never gonna work out, you trust me, I don't think you know, right? Like, oh my god. And in a 5D level, everything is possible and so much more. And this is where we need to take our mindset and our manifesting, especially with everything going on, even twin flame union. So sometimes we're in the physical, we're not always able to understand it all, like on a 3D sense. This is a 5D union. It's important that you are with people that are healing themselves. If you've gone into a separation, it may be to wake up your partner more, or so that they heal more too. And that's such an important part of it. Oh my God. So many people are like, oh, when they come to me, they're like, oh, well, they're not as awake as me and things like that. You never know how these lessons are affecting people, or what they're getting out of them too on their end, right? Because it's like you get one piece of that puzzle and you don't get the other end, and it can be complicated because you're like going so deep with someone, but you still only ever have your side of the lessons or your own experiences that you're going through. So sometimes if you're in a separation, the best thing you can do is work on healing your own energy, because it's triggering your partner in some way too. So healing right now, loss for the feminine. This could be so much of loss. Sometimes it's losing friends, family, situations, everything that you have moved through and that you're trying to process and integrate. Oh my God, we're integrating a lot, right? Like on Earth. And I'm talking about Earth traumas and like how hard this planet is. So we're integrating a lot, but it could be actual physical death. And things like that. So I'll say, as the feminine too, you're also going to very deeply pick up on what your masculine is going through. And I know it's the masculine, like kind of like hide stuff, but I'll just talk a little bit, and I'll try to start to talk about more of my experiences, because it's what I draw on to help also. So I had a situation where I played something that my masculine had done, and I very much connected on a very deep level with them and what they were going through, from a lot of like grief, from death, from pain. And this is something that I went through earlier on my path. And like when I went through it, oh my God, right? It was like my spiral. I talk about it. It was like my spiral into, the darkness and all of it. And that's okay. And so people handle grief and loss differently. Some people, whatever, they move right on. Some people might take more time, and that's okay. We all process things differently in our lives, in our lifetimes here on Earth. But so it was something I had been through on like the deepest level, right? Oh my gosh. But then now as a medium, I now have, put it kind of together with that path of, it's very important in my journey. So I know that they are going through a lot of really hard stuff coming up and feelings, and I was kind of tapping into that, because it's not something they like really talk to me about, but it was just through something, and I like kind of tapped into that, and it made me start crying. It's like really bad, right? And it isn't for my own pain, because honestly, that is like the one thing I have healed of my past on that journey. It's not funny, right? And it's like, okay, so a lot of times when we are in a connection, there's like a certain energy exchange, and you're picking up on that energy, whether you're tapping into that person's energy or the connection between you, or, vice versa. So we're sharing emotional energy too. And I feel this was just me getting hit with a lot of energy, not trying to. And then it brought up a lot for me from past life things and things like that. We'll just leave it at that, between this connection. And so it made me very upset. And that's how we purge out energy sometimes. This is how we release energy, right? Oh my God. And then going into it and releasing this energy. So in whatever way, I got hit with a lot of overwhelming emotion and sadness, right? And things. And then it made me start to purge. And so when you're in a deep connection with us, especially if you're with that person all the time, around them, living together, even in separation, there's such a connection between the energies and what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you're going through, what you're going to pick up on, and what's going on with the other too. So this is loss for the feminine. This could be loss of the connection. Nothing is going to trigger you more than a breakup. But then, oh my God, when you go into a separation, it is not your usual breakup. With a breakup from a karmic partner or a soulmate, you know the lessons done right there. You're kind of being made aware, whether they're telling you, right, or things like that. But with a twin flame situation, it could get a little bit tricky too, and things like that. So people do go into separations, and I do feel if you're in one, to get a real reading off of me, no matter what your situation, it's going to help bring a lot of clarity to you. And the video cuts out after this if you're on Instagram, but check out my website. I always recommend doing one-on-one work with me. It's going to help so much. So sometimes we can't shift these energies ourselves that we're going through. So if you're in a separation, signs that you need to shift the energy, and signs that you may need some assistance in shifting those energies too, because otherwise you would have as well too. So for the feminine, clearing emotions. If you've been through a twin flame breakup then, or separation, it's a separation, you know that this could trigger a lot of loss as well too. And the reason why people say, where are these intense emotions coming from? They're coming through a lot of the time on a past life level. It's triggering different lifetimes that you've had with this person on a deeper level, and things like that. That's why I do feel past life work can be very beneficial to understanding some of these things in your situation on a greater level. The feminine, fresh start. Do you feel like everything has been crumbling and you've been guided into a new timeline or a fresh start lately? And this could look like things look differently around you, or things are happening differently. Suddenly those manifestations coming through, or maybe you're being pulled to that you want a new start. Look out for new opportunity. Release the past. This is your second chance. And this happens with awakening. Sometimes we're going through awakenings within our awakening. I'm realizing it's more like dream state here, right? As I'm going through it, more like a dream state I'm describing it as. And funny because we're dreaming every night. So it's just like a dream within a dream, and I'm getting used to it, and us needing to create on that level. Like if you go to sleep tonight, you'll say, oh, I'm going here, I'm going to do this, right? Needing to create on that higher level. So no doubt travel coming up. And this could be for the feminine. I got another travel card yesterday when I did it too for me. Movement, meeting, adventure. Be ready for new experiences. And this is so important. I saw some amazing video shared, just experiencing Earth. Like, if this is your only lifetime here, right? What would you do? Where would you go? Getting excited on that level. And sometimes it's about what we're creating as groups, as collectives, and that's important too, an important part of the journey too. So having different experiences with different people, with new people. 2023, if you are doing the work and clearing this space in your life, 2023 is going to bring you new friendships, new love, and new opportunities too. So just kind of knowing that. But we also have a very destructive energy moving through. Tower moment, unexpected change, new opportunities. And then this requires change and growth can be painful. We're realizing that too. Oh my God. And needing to learn how to heal that source energy, bringing in source. If you have these, so I say sore spots, wounds in your energy, working with your energy right now, bringing in more source energy. The feminine might be about to pull back and go into solitude. Retreat, introspective silence, get things done within yourself, being pulled back to find a balance. And I have someone coming to me, and I'm already seeing things, maybe like I'm recognizing toxic signs more and more. And so when you are spending all your time around the other person and not doing your stuff or not working on yourself, it's not balanced. And I think it's important that both are healing separate in a connection. Otherwise it's not going to work out. And this is the problem. If you had other relationships that didn't work out, this is exactly why you need a partner who's healing. If they're not healing, they're not aware of their trauma, and they're going to continue in these karmic cycles. It takes us being aware of the cycles and actually healing them and working on them. And sometimes it takes a great deal of work too as we're moving through this. And if they're not doing any work, they're going to pull you back if you are spiritually awake and doing that healing work. And so it's important that each person is doing their healing on their own. and working on their own stuff too on their own is going to help a ton with the connection. And so if we are attracting unhealed, unawake people, this is even worse. Like, right? Oh my God. Okay, so once you're awake, it can be a game changer in your connections, in your relationships. So I do think it's important that we're shifting into the awakened feminine, divine feminine, awakened masculine, divine masculine. We're going to do some cards for the masculine. This one fell out anyway. We'll start there, right? Take this as a message from your divine masculine, if you are the feminine, or just what's going on with the divine masculine too. I like to tap in. Funny, this card fell out. I think it's for me anyway, doing the readings. What I'm trying to manifest anyway, about like that, right? Away from everyone, in the woods, but also winter. And so, you know, feeling the cold and then knowing that too. So we're going through a lot this winter, a little bit of cocooning going on, but a lot of spiritual growth, trying to take you higher into higher timelines. Be ready for changes in the next couple of months ahead. The masculine, be ready for big changes. And that's from the work you're putting in. You might feel dissatisfied or not really good where you're at, or feeling ready for it, feeling impatient. All right, we're going to tap into the masculine. All right, let's see what's going on with the masculine. For those in separation, start here. Okay, feeling deeply connected, not wanting to admit it. And this is important too, because sometimes there is a deep connection. So when maybe you need to disconnect, or at times and things like that. If you go into a separation, it might feel like that. However, there's such a connection or a knowing with this person probably. I think the masculine even more might have that knowing or recognition more with their partner too, from past lives, like able to tap in better too. So him really maybe seeing you and then always feeling you too. So this could be if your masculine is, I always say, an empath or a psychic too, they're probably feeling you a little bit extra too. It just kind of depends on how open we are to the connection. A lot of times you guys are telling me these people are really asleep or not aware of the connection, but they are as well too. And so on whatever level, you know, being more aware of this connection, and then knowing that if you feel like this person isn't for you, flames only at this point, because sometimes, you know, it's creating more karma if we are trying to be with other karmic partners, and kind of understanding that as patterns. So recognizing their flame and needing to recognize their flame and things like that. A lot of judgment and hurt feelings going on with the masculine. So the masculine might come back around. It says, I'm coming to you with an offer. Would you say yes when I offer you my hand and take it? And this could just be coming back together, union. You know, it could mean deeper things like marriage, if that pertains to your situation or things going on. And then understanding that's where this work leads. And this is where this path leads, no matter how many lifetimes it takes. And we're like, well, why would it take lifetimes? Karma and karmic situations are the only thing that really gets in the way. But this lifetime here on earth, we've planned to ascend. We've planned to clear all of that. Like, especially if you guys are like me and I'm an indigo starseed, I'm here to clear through all of this, right? And I'm learning that about my path. And so we have to rise above it. And I see people getting down, and that can happen, but needing to rise above all of this coming up right now, huge, with the masculine and the feminine. So the masculine, maybe they might need time in their own healing, or to think about things and stuff like that. Spring. Your love is blooming. Your answers arrive in spring. If you're waiting on something, if you're trying to manifest something, you aren't sure, right? Positive messages for spring. And I love that, because I was reminding myself today that we're going to go into the spring equinox, and it's my favorite time, right? I'm like, yes. Okay, so we have a lot of energies. It's felt slow. We've actually been in kind of some retrogrades, retro shades, and the energy's moving a little bit slow. And that's okay, but things are about to shift back on track. This Aquarius new moon Saturday is going to bring a big burst of energy. You might be feeling a little tired till then, needing a little bit of time out, time to yourself. Really just kind of those seeds that you're planting, because it's flowers, right? It's a message of flowers. Know that those seeds that you've been planting are growing and they'll be ready in spring, right? Sometimes winter is a very important phase too for the earth. Very earth sign connected, so important phase for the earth too going on. Ego getting in the way. This could be wanting it, everything, right? Going the way you want, things like that. Pride, jealousy, self-preservation, walls, let your guard down. And this could be walls, and especially with the masculine. And I realize I have to like pull back and realize that. And I know better than anyone from being a kid in how we were all raised differently. Yeah, we were raised differently in that feminine masculine programming. And especially with the masculine, in what way that they have been raised in a different way. And so then that you come out a little different, right, from the experience. And then so major blocks of ego coming up, and like blocks of letting people in like fully, or like kind of feeling like you're not, and things like that. So things kind of coming up with ego as it's a block, and that's just how we think earth is sometimes it's not as we think of. Like sometimes it can be like kind of like energy in between, but sometimes it's also how we are perceiving this dimension, and things have changed. So we're coming out of, and the kids are going to do so much better. And this is why, if you guys are doing a better job raising them in conscious parenting and teaching them this new way, they will pick it up easier. If you are continuing to raise them in the old, they'll be like us and have all this distortion. And so we are being given a chance, the indigo light workers and then the next generations, to really correct and change things on this planet. And that is really, really, really big. So needing to clear distortions of how we're seeing things, because sometimes we get like negative mindset of, I don't know if it's working out, but knowing that because of the changes in the energy that we can manifest so much bigger right now, and we're being guided to too. But some of it comes down to changing how we're seeing things. I said, I'm not these old, like this old stuff. That's ego, right? And your ego personality, your avatar, right? What is ego, right? Your avatar and things like that, right? Who you identify as. But also, we're able to bring that through on a greater level, and we're being guided to. So we're coming out of this like 3D ego, right? Avatar, and into this fifth dimensional higher state of consciousness where we're galactic, right? And we have abilities and gifts, and we're being meant to and guided to use them as well too. So moving past ego and listening to spirit for the masculine. Mirroring happening. I said it's awful sometimes too. A lot of mirroring happening, reflection, twin wholeness, synchronicities, and this could look like a different way. So I don't want to get too sciencey, but I want to, but not now. Okay, so sometimes we have more going on with our brain and love than we think. A lot of times opposites are attracting, and it's something that I always say, well, why? It's something on a brain chemistry. And so this is where our mirror neurons come in. You ever hang out with someone a lot and it begins to change you, and you guys kind of begin to mesh and merge into like one person, right? This could be good or bad if you're hanging around negative friends. Oh my God, sometimes it's not good for you, right? And things like that. But we tend to do that with everyone. But the thing with twin flames, it's so different. And it literally is like you might be very different. It depends, right? Maybe you grew up in the same neighborhood and you met when you were 5 and things like that. But the more experiences that you've added on Earth, sometimes it can make you different. This can come down to astrology, different elements, different countries you're living in, even different situations that people are in within these connections. And I've found that within mine, they have a lot of things I don't understand in their astrology. We'll leave it at that, right? A lot of Saturn and things I don't understand, because I'm like the opposite of all of that in my own astrology, and I probably just don't understand all this, like, logically structured stuff, and that's okay, of how I flow as the feminine. And it might even feel like that. So it might feel like, I always say it's a little bit like different. So, you'll probably be very different from them in things that you're into, or like your tastes or hobbies, right? Stuff like that. You might even feel like it is like almost like polar opposite. Now, the thing with twin flames is you're meant to come together to become a better person, both of you. each, right, individual through this mirroring process. So you're able to like see each other more and see yourselves more of things that you need to like work on, that you may want to take out of the equation, be healing and things like that. A lot of mirroring going on. That's why if you stay really high vibe and positive in these exchanges, they're going to mirror all that beautiful energy back to you. And then if it's not great, look, it's not going to feel good amplified, because you guys really amplify each other's energy being around each other. The masculine having memories surface. This could be negative stuff like, oh my God. So this could be all of a sudden with the ascension, we're having to clear many lifetimes of stuff. A lot of times those many lifetimes converged in our childhood. Oh my God, don't say that, right? Yes. And a lot of times they're convergent, right? And so we're having to clear and heal a lot. And these are the blocks in different things, because if we have unresolved karma anywhere, then you're not going to come into the union, or you might have been kind of teased a little and put into separation. It just depends on the situation. Or you're in a union and you're having these things come up in an energetic way that are affecting the connection. So for the masculine, memories of the past coming up, nostalgia, repetitive attachment, reliving the past, let it go. So I just realized from writing a book, when we go into our past, it is so traumatic to go into the trauma. And I do feel, this is why I do energy healing mostly. And I say you need to bring that healing energy into it. Like there's no way around it. I feel they're doing a lot of damage with how they are treating things on Earth and why we're here to, you know, evolve, we'll say evolve into better ways, right? And things like that. So I never realized how traumatic it is to continue to live through trauma, different experiences, having them come up. Now with the masculine, they'll think that they never need any help and they're fine and they are processing everything in logic. However, this is an unlogical process, so we need to really bring the energy into it. This could be past memories of mistreatment, abuse. It could be good memories, right, coming up, and things like that. Missing people, reminiscing, missing their ex. No, kidding. It could be anything of the past. Sometimes we are like, we can either romanticize our past or even the other way, right? So different memories coming up, but this is actually connected with healing. The masculine may have things surfacing from other relationships with other people as an attempt to understand and heal these connections more, not with them, but within themselves now. They could be having memories of their, friends and different things that happened on Earth with their family coming up, different family challenges that they've had to move through. Self-worth, self-esteem, the masculine needing to rise up as the awakened masculine to lead. And it's so important too. So the solar plexus, self-worth, this is connected with self-esteem and needing to see your higher potential. With the feminine is always seeing that, and that's the problem right there. And I realize that it's like always the problem in things, because the feminine right away was like in love and seeing your higher potential with things. And this goes for all of the masculines, but then suddenly the healing comes in, them needing to see themselves in that higher light that the source or the divine sees you through, the feminine sees you through, needing to work on your solar plexus, your stomach chakra. And this is like also the core of our identities. And I'm always studying, like getting into this stuff more, right? The solar plexus for sure, to feel better about yourself, to have confidence, whether in your connection, you're manifesting, who you are, what you bring to the table, just with your energy, nothing else. Because I say everything else is just, gonna get glitchy, right? With on Earth. Just you, just your energy, just your gifts, just the things that you have learned, your knowledge, who you are, everything that makes you up on a spiritual level, values, self-esteem, confidence. Be empowered by valuing yourself. And there's a different type of spiritual path, and I feel you have to get heavily initiated into some of this, right? And this is what we're going through. Some of these lessons are things that we need to move through to reach higher levels spiritually, and continuing to work on our spiritual path. This is our spiritual path here on Earth, no matter what it looks like. And I always am the one to be like, look at Earth and what a mess it is and how it looks, but we're actually all on our own unique path. And that's really important, this Aquarius new moon, that we're following our own unique path and our guidance, making sure this goes for everyone, that you're staying connected to your own soul's guidance. Listen to it, right? And whether you're just needing to like tune in, tap in, what's coming through, direction for you, feeling confident in that spirit connection too, and the guidance coming through, knowing that you have powerful beings that are working with you, that are trying to help you here on earth. And sometimes we're feeling alone, like, oh, I don't know, right? But knowing that you're being guided on such a higher level, trusting also that spiritual connection, as it gets stronger, you'll get more powerful and you'll feel better. And so it's important that you're listening to it, whether it's guiding you to new places, new connections, doing new things. So important. I want to pull a couple cards, a couple more. We're going to pull a couple angel cards for both female archangels. And just for both, what's going on. If you're in a twin flame situation, make sure you're doing a one-on-one reading with me. It'll help so much, whether you're needing new codes. I always say do the activation work. You'll be getting new codes for your union, for your connection. It'll bring you so much healing no matter what your situation. And I work for everyone, with everyone, whether you're in, haven't met them, wanting them in separation and needing to heal that, or even just in a union. Archangel Archangel Victory, raise your vibration. I couldn't say it right. Okay, so Archangela Victory, raising your vibration. Okay, everything we're talking about, working on our energy. This new moon is a gateway to work on our energy and to work on our frequency. I'm going to practice with the archangels more, but these are beautiful cards. I was pulling them yesterday for myself. Excited to get this deck. It's a new deck. So raising your frequency, working with the archangels, so important. And I realized that too while I'm sitting in this place on earth and like, oh my God, about earth, right? That we can bring our magic down here, and we're going to need to weave these spiritual energies onto earth, whether you're praying to the archangels, to the dragons, to the fairies, bringing in more of the interdimensional into your experience, working with your angels, but also working with the archangels for healing. Pray on Archangel Raphael right now if you need heart chakra healing. So important. I brought this, that my boyfriend gave to me, this Ankh. I brought it with me. So beautiful. Working with rose quartz. We're working with rose quartz today, praying to Archangel Raphael to help you with your healing. Source, return to oneness. You're being called to work with source, and that's all about it. So whether you will need to sit in a pillar of spiritual light and like visualize that, like see the sky opening up and that pillar of source light coming down, connect with the sun. This is so important for your healing. Getting out and getting more sun right now is going to make more feel-good hormones and things that we need, but it also helps us energetically. So whether you're being guided to connect with nature more, the elementals, the sun, the solars right now, but connect with source, however you're doing that. Sometimes you're needing to be in your own vibe and your own frequency and to come back into that, or even just opening up on a heart chakra level to source, opening up more with your heart chakra, something we're all working on as well too, clearing things within the heart chakra. What's happening now is a lot of you have done the healing and suddenly old stuff's coming up because your heart chakra is a porthole into past lives, and that can be tricky here while we're on earth. And oh my God, what if I told you you were clearing over 100 past lives right now in this lifetime? You'd say, what? Right? You have been clearing over 100 past lives, and it's just too much for your humanness to piece together. But it's left us with a lot of aches and pains, and this is coming through on a deeper soul level, that we're actually purging out and healing our soul on a deeper level during this ascension. So major heart chakra healing. When you've been doing the healing, you'll probably go more into past life stuff and healing this stuff. Archangel Metatron, I remember who you are. Working with Archangel Metatron, amazing also for helping with the light body, the spiritual body, or just ascension guidance and knowledge, different reasons we can work with the archangels. Remember who you are. This is so important. What are we waking up to? Who we are. We're waking up that we're in a dream dimension, right? Waking up as angelics, galactics, and kind of tapping into that too. Remembering who we are and our angelic origins, things hidden from us and different things. You are divine. You're a beautiful being of light. When you smile, it lights everyone up, and you have such a powerful effect just showing up and smiling. And so just knowing that you have a powerful energy, waking up to your spiritual awakening and who you are. What are your soul gifts? What's your purpose? And this can be beneficial to look at astrology too. to kind of tap into our gifts in different kind of ways, that if you're unsure that we can tap in or activate these gifts, and that's what I do, right? Activating energies and gifts. So there's different ways that we can tap in and activate our gifts and work with them more. I see the ones that are going to go bigger within it this year too. I'm going to go on that note, but I'm sending you guys a ton of love and good energies. If you need me, make sure you're just booking a reading on my site. Check out my twin flame healing section. I do on there too, but I also do tons of other healing on there too. Sending you a ton of love and good energies. Have a beautiful day.